Hey there, welcome back to AskAmy. A little late, almost 2 hours late today, but I had another call we had to reschedule. So I always think, I know people are used to this happening at 1 o'clock Eastern, but if we have to come on at 2 or 3 or whatever, I assume it's going to capture some new people that maybe it wouldn't before. So I'll pretend it's a good thing. So my question for you today is from Kate. And Kate says, I've been in and out of this conversation for years. It was a real game changer for me when I originally found it after going through a stint of insomnia and the anxiety that came with not being able to fall asleep easily. A few years on, and mostly blissful sleep, lucky me, I've had a week of not being able to fall asleep. I've been taking sleeping aids to help. For some reason, I'm having a hard time seeing beyond the curtain of my thoughts on this. My intellect knows the three P's inside out. I know I've hooked into some unhelpful thinking. It's very predictable. Even as I write this to you, the voice in my head says, Kate, you know this stuff. I've been feeling quite low this past week, and although I know there's nothing I can do, when I lay my head to go to sleep, my mind feels like it's running a hamster wheel of thought about falling asleep, and of course, no surprises, I don't fall asleep easily and resort to a sleeping pill, which makes me feel like a failure having come so far in this journey. Again, it's so predictable, I know the story well. Interestingly, when I'm hung up on this thought, it's like the rest of my life is hinged on getting this sorted. If it's not, the rest of my life suffers with low mood, anxiousness, feeling unsettled. I know my wisdom is inside of me. I'm just having a hard time connecting back to home base, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So, Kate, um, what you're describing here is so human, so normal, so what we all go through all the time. And I just want to I want to put it back to you the way that I hear it, just to see if you hear anything in this. It's sort of like you're just thinking, right? And thought has come to life. But what I hear in here is this little bit of, okay, there's got to be something else. Like, what's the thing I'm missing? Why? Like, yeah, I know it, and I know how this works, and I know why it's happening this way, and all of that. But there's a giant but at the end of that. You recognize it. That's what the whole question is, right? Like, I know this, I know that, but why isn't it helping me? And I want to kind of remind you that this understanding, this sounds cold to say it this way, but it's the way I see it is it's not really meant to help us. Now it does. It helps us way better than anything else I've ever seen in my life, and I've looked into pretty much everything that exists. But that's not what it's for. It's not an understanding. It's not like a pacifier or a teddy bear or a sleeping pill or something that's designed to get us to a certain state. It's simply a description of how life works. So what I hear in what you're saying is is I know how it works. I know how it works, but where's the comfort? Like when is it going to help me sleep? Because that's ultimately what I want, right? So it's a little bit of a cop out your mind's leading you on there, like I get it, but okay, now since I get it, I should be sleeping properly. And I, I don't think that's true at all. Seeing a description of how life works isn't promised or guaranteed to help us sleep at night. It's not going to make the hamster wheel stop. The hamster wheels just go and then they stop. That's what the description shows us. Thought looks absolutely real. We're completely caught up in it. Like you say, when I'm hung up on this thought, it's like the rest of my life is hinged on getting this sorted. Yeah, that's how thought works. Period. Period. Full stop. That's it. Not, oh, that's how thought works. But remember this so that you can sleep at night, so that you can actually get all this sorted and all those bad things don't happen. Well, the truth of it is, none of those bad things are going to happen. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen in your life, but the truth is this thought that you say, it's like the rest of my life is hinged on this. So what you're telling yourself is if I don't fall asleep, everything else is just it's going to fall apart. It's all going to be horrible. I'm going to be anxious. I'm going to feel unsettled. I'm going to have a low mood. Everything in my life will suffer if I don't sleep. That is not a truth, Kate. It's not. It may even be your experience, and that still doesn't make it a truth. That's a thought. It's a thought. And when that thought looks absolutely real, of course you suffer. Of course. What other choice do you have? Like when that looks real, when it looks like everything in your life is going to fall apart if you don't sleep and you're not sleeping very easily, what are you left with? I mean, of course you're going to suffer, but this is the thing for us all to see that whenever there's something that looks like that, we get to be onto it more and more. Oh, this can't be the truth of it. Truth doesn't feel like that. Thought does. Truth doesn't say if this then that. Truth doesn't tell us, truth doesn't predict the future. Truth doesn't know a future. It's here now. So here now, your mind is saying, oh my gosh, there's this scary picture out here that looks like your life falling apart because you didn't sleep well, and there's this over here. And those pictures, which are nothing but a creative mind making stuff up, those creative pictures look absolutely real and true. So I love you, Kate, and now hear me when I say, even though you're saying, I know this backward and forward, I know it's all a story, I know it's all thought, you do and you don't. Because when we do, we see it like we see Cinderella on the movie screen. Like it's okay because she's now real. It's a movie. We really truly can have that within ourselves, and you do often, and I do too, and we all do around a lot of stuff, and then a lot of times we don't. A lot of times it's like, oh, this is different, and so I just want you to kind of sit with that and see how it is story. You do know that on some level, but stepping back even more and seeing, remember, like when we're saying it's thought, it's like this. I mean, it's like a machine. It's a machine, and it just spins truly fictional stories, and it brings in details and evidence and memories from the past and all this logic that makes it look really, really real. And it still isn't. It's still thought. Your mind cannot tell you what the future is going to look like. Only, I mean, your mind will tell you that, but it's wrong. It can't know that. It can't know that. There is no future to your mind. The past is has nothing to do with anything, really. But to your mind, which is always trying to give you this coherent picture of, oh, remember we were here and now we're here and looks like we're headed here. That's just what a mind does. It's just what every mind does. They all do it. They're a machine designed to predict the future so that we can stay because it thinks that's going to keep our physical body alive longer. Very, very simple and very easy to get caught up in, for sure. For sure. So keep seeing, keep seeing that it is your mind telling this story, but also notice where there's thinking in here saying, but it needs to be different. But this should be the outcome. But I should be sleeping by now if I really saw this, and just know, trust me, you're not alone in that. But anything that feels hopeless or I need it to be a certain way, graspy, or any of that, it can only be mind. It can only be a little mind making up these theories and then us innocently believing them. There's no other option. Life doesn't do that to us. Only our psychology does. So I hope this is helpful. Thank you for sending it, Kate. And thanks everyone for listening. And I'll see you back here next Monday. Have a great week, everyone.